Dear students, I welcome you all for this online refresher course for the course Industrial Robotics, focusing on the robot programming part. So this particular presentation will take us to the third exercise called as loop programming. So here we learn how to do the loop programming via two cases. Okay, via two cases, how to go ahead with, we'll just understand. So what is a loop and how it goes, we'll just go ahead with. So first we'll understand the task. What are we going to do in this particular learning? So the task is program an articulated six-axis robot to move along a particular profile over a finite number of items. That is, we wanted to use the robot only for some certain numbers. So we knew in the programming part, if you are not terminating the program by end or halt, the robot itself is going to do n number of times. It is n number of times. But here, we just wanted only some finite number of times. So how to go ahead with, we'll understand. Okay. So before that, let me go take the example what we did in the first exercise. So there is a rectangle. So this particular rectangle, now it is used for the case of welding application. Now for the case of welding application, we wanted to do 5 passes. So we wanted to do some sort of beading concept. So only 5 passes is essential. So by 5 passes, at the end of fifth pass, the process should get over. So the profile is like this. So rectangle, direction is like this, P1, P2, P3, P4. So likewise 5 times. So when it starts at 1, so it should make a round, then second, third, fourth, then finally at fifth, here it should get over and the robot should go back to its original P home point. So how to do such program we'll understand. So in order to go ahead with loop, some basic concepts are there. The concept is loop is called as, loop basically it is called as a sub program or a subroutine. Subprogram or subroutine. What is it is? A repeated task we are going to do for some finite number of times. Say 5 times, 4 times, whatever the theoretically, what are the times we wanted to do, it is going to do. So individually we are not going to do program. So only once we'll program and we'll ask that subroutine, okay? Subroutine or the subprogram. See subroutine, this is what the spelling, okay? Subroutine or the subprogram, it will be doing only once we'll be doing the program, but we'll be calling this program for finite number of times. How many number of times we wanted to go ahead with, okay? So in order to do this particular task, we have got two options. So the first option is called as if-then loop. So if-then loop is a condition-based thing. So if is going to be a question, then it's going to be the condition. If this is the scenario, what should the action should we go ahead with? Then second thing is for. So this is a counter loop. It is a counter loop. It will be counting. See, directly you give 5 times, it will count 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It will over. But here it is a condition. You give some condition. If it is so and so condition, then you do this particular task. Okay. So we'll do both these cases. We'll learn how to do if then as well as for loop. Now we'll go ahead with if then. So we know the programs are already readily available with us. The points has been declared. Now we'll go ahead with the program. So first I'll do for the if then case. So for the case of if then programming, it is like this. So we'll start with the basic default thing. So move home. So we are just starting. See now, whenever we do, we should have a counter, right? So because 5 times, our requirement is 5 times. So now we are going to have the counter. So counter, let me give it as M0. See again, I call this is 0. This is not O. If you give as O, no, it will be a syntax error. This will be 0. M0 is equal to 0. So I am just putting out apostrophe and I am giving you this explanation. It is 0. It is not. Okay. Not O. Alphabet. It is not alphabet O. It is default 0. So this is the portion where majority of the students will be doing mistakes when you type. Okay. So it is M0. So M0 is 1. Then we are starting the loop name. Asterisk. Any loop name can be given. Say AA, BB, anything. So I am just going to give this as ME22710 is the loop name. Okay. Now what I am doing is we'll just program MVS So earlier, recall the earlier program for the rectangle, then MVS P2, MVS P3, MVS P4. So again, MVS P1. Now, once it is over, once we have completed. Now, what is the thing is, increment the counter. M0 is equal to whatever the value earlier you were having, M0 plus 1. Clear? Students, initially we started M0. This M0 is equal to 0 was the declaration what we did. Now one cycle is over. Once the program has been executed. Now M0 is equal to, don't give 0 plus 1. Whatever the earlier memory was there, that is 0 here, plus 1. Increment by 1. Okay. So this is the subprogram part. This is the subprogram part. Now we'll go for this if condition. If we are opening the condition, if M0 is, if this M0 value is greater than or equal to, okay, what is the thing? We have started with 0, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here the count will be only 4. There might be a doubt. No, initially we wanted to have 5 pass. Clear? But here you are stopping with 4. How? How come this gets justified? See, we have started with 0. Clear? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 counters come. Okay, this is so. Suppose I am starting with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here it gets 5. Okay, students. So here since I started with 0, I am ending here with 4. If I start here with 1, okay, I'll write another program here. So M0 is equal to 1. And here M0 is equal to M0 plus 1. Okay, then how I'll be writing here as M0 greater than or is equal to 5. So this is how we will go ahead. Since I started here with 0, I am here ending it at 4. So we have opened the question. If M0 is greater than or equal to 4, then what it is supposed to do? Go to, even you can use here go to or asterisk. The moment you type asterisk, here it will go. Default the program will go and give the program number ME22710. Okay, so here 4. Now this will get executed. It will cross check. Now it is value is 1, right? 1. Then it will go back to this. So here this looping will be going on till this particular condition is getting satisfied. So if this condition is satisfied, then move P home, then halt or end. So with this, the work is over. Okay, students. So this is how we are going to do for the case of if then. So now we start with a counter, then we start the loop name, whatever the profile coordinates has been given you are doing, and here you are incrementing the coordinate, then you are giving the conditional statement, then you are terminating the program. So this is how we are going to do. Now we'll see for the case of the next option, for then. The next is for loop. So earlier we just discussed about if then. So now it is going to be for loop. Okay. See, for means immediately you should remember the next term called as next. Okay. So these two are the keywords which comes as both as an unanimous one. So for, if something comes as for, immediately next will be there. So it is very simple. Okay. Not like earlier, we are not going to do anything. Directly we are going to declare. So let me write the program for that. So the program is, so initially the robot is in its home position. So the robot in its P home. Now, yes, counter has to be opened. So M0 is equal to 0. So again, students, I want you to recall. So this is not alphabet O, it is 0. So please be very cautious enough in this. Don't carelessly, don't go ahead with O instead of 0 because you will get syntax error. The file will not get saved and therefore you will not be able to simulate the robot. So here we are opening up the for. So remember, if the term for comes, immediately next to should be there. So for M0 is equal to, what is the value you wanted to have here? M0 0 should be, I'm starting from 1. Okay, here 0 is not a count, 1 to 5. So starting number is 1 for 4, sorry, for it is the starting number is 1. 0 will not be there. Though we give 0 here, here it will be 1 to 5. Okay, you have your main program here. So MVS P1, MVS P2, MVS P3, MVS P4. So again close the thing. So MVS P1 and here it will be next. Here it will be next. So what happens is this is the loop. So the moment for means immediately next. So what are the statements available between this for to next will be going on loop for the finite number of times what we have specified alongside of the for. So that is how it goes on. So once everything is over, we can go for the home position as well as we can halt the program. So this is how for then works. Okay. So I hope for then will be very simple for you when compared to the if then. So based on the condition we'll be using. Okay. Condition to condition it differs, right? So all the condition will not be the same. So therefore what happens is we'll be very conscious enough in order to use based on our need and necessity. So this is how we are just going to program the robot for the case of loop. So to summarize, we just today in this particular presentation, we just learned about two important looping concepts. The first was with respect to if then and the next was with respect to for loop. Okay. Thank you, students.